So you decided you are not going to leave your baby to cry in order to get sleep, but you're wondering, does that mean I'm stuck waking up all night forever? If this was ever your thoughts, this video is for you. The answer is no, you are not stuck waking up all night forever. But what you need to understand is what is waking your baby. So why do parents feel stuck in this question? It's because there is a false binary, and honestly the conversation online is very much around two extremes: either leave your baby to cry or do some form of cried out or sleep training, or wait it out or co-sleep forever until they get out of your bed on their own. If neither option sounds appealing to you, you're in the right place, because that's the families that I help. Most families come to me because neither sleep training nor doing nothing feels good to them. So the first thing that we need to understand is why wakefulness or sleep challenges even happen in the first place. If you're thinking about sleep training, you're assuming that sleep challenges are happening because of a lack of skill, or you didn't teach them, or you didn't leave them to cry, or you're responding too soon. All of this is not supported by research, not supported by what we know about baby brain development, just not supported by anything other than the people who are trying to sell you sleep training programs. Doing nothing, even though it doesn't work for you or is exhausting you, is also unsustainable, and doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you if you just don't feel like it resonates with you to just wait. So why do sleep challenges actually happen? So the one thing that we need to really understand really well here, which is different than what you've been hearing on this side of the argument, it's that sleep is a biological function. It is not a skill to learn. It is a biological function, just like eating, just like toileting, just like any other biological function that we have. It's not something that you can teach or that you can do on demand. But your baby, they don't have the language yet to tell you what is waking them. And also, babies are designed to wake up at night in order to protect them from SIDS, in order to meet their feeding needs, in order to keep them basically safe. This is just designed by biology and evolution to keep us surviving. If you're not doing cried out, and if you're not just waiting, you need to understand why your baby is actually waking. Some of the reasons could be just normal infant wakes and needs, such as to feed, such as to do brief, frequent wakes because of development. Other wakes could be a sign that something is bothering your baby, like discomfort, like your daytime routines or your sleep routines are not setting them up for longer sleep stretches, like the sleep environment, like big changes in their lives, like your own levels of stress in your family lifestyle and your own well being. All of those things could be contributing to how your baby is sleeping. So it's actually really critically important that you are not resorting to this side where you're just doing nothing and just suffering for the whole time, because that's not good for your baby sleep either. We want to be somewhere in the middle where we think about our baby sleep as a biological function that we can support as something that will happen naturally if we provide the right environment that supports sleep. Obviously, as the parent, you do want to as the parent, you do want to provide an environment and routines that maximize your baby's sleep, but it doesn't mean accepting that you're going to be waking up nonstop until your baby just grows out of it magically. They might grow out of it, they might not. It really depends on the reason for the wake. So it's really important to think not what did I do to make my baby wake up a lot. It's important to think, what is this sleep pattern telling me? Why is my baby waking? So what does it actually look like to not leave your baby to cry, but also to not do nothing? So the first foundational step is, you might have guessed it, it's actually understanding what is going on. Understanding, is this normal? Is this a phase? Is this something that needs my attention and needs changing? Sometimes simple, small changes to routines, schedules, how you're putting your baby to sleep, daytime feeding can make a huge difference and really create longer sleep stretches without doing really much else. Sometimes we need to look deeper for a root cause on what the wakefulness means. But being able to tell, is this normal? Is this a phase? Is something wrong? Do I need to do anything about this? Is key if you're trying to optimize sleep accept what is cannot change, that is a part of baby development or baby sleep, and change the things that you can, so that you have sustainable routines, sustainable sleeping arrangements, and you actually keep the things that you're enjoying when it comes to your baby sleep. We need to understand your baby in terms of the different systems that regulate their sleep, which is regulation. That means sleep and awake cycles, sensory stimulation, routines, predictability, how they experience the world. It could mean your relationship, so how you feel about sleep and the feeling of safety that you're creating for them around sleep can make a big difference in how they're sleeping. I mentioned before your own stress levels, your own lifestyle. Sleep has to feel easy, calm, happy in order to help your baby go to sleep. Realistic expectations, and when your baby grows and when it's appropriate developmentally, setting loving limits and boundaries and creating routines, sleeping arrangements that are sustainable for you, that you're actually enjoying, that are maximizing your baby's sleep. So it's not an easy wait 3 nights while your baby cries and then they'll magically sleep, which by the way does not work for at least 20% of babies, no matter what method you use. It's more so, how can I understand what is going on for my baby and how can I support them while also supporting myself and protecting my own sleep. That's how we get sleep without doing nothing and without resorting to leaving your baby to cry. Understanding their development or the developmental stage is also very important because it can help you make decisions based on what makes sense and what would be easier in terms of promoting sleep for your baby. We want to balance your needs and your baby's needs in a way that feels good to both of you in your family. And what that looks like is different for every family. The reasons a baby wakes is different for every baby. So it's really important that we get also personalized advice and understand what is going on for you, not assume that every baby needs to be left to cry to learn, and not assume that every baby needs to be held by you 24/7 until they're 5 or 7 or 10 years old. It does not have to be that way. So let's do quick fire common questions. Are you creating bad habits when you're responding to your baby? No. Responding to your baby, responsiveness have been shown over and over and over again in the research as the best way to help your baby grow up healthy, well, and resilient. So no, you cannot spoil your baby by holding them, nurturing them, responding to them. That is the thing that is a concept that was made up by the people that want to convince you to sleep train. Will your child ever sleep independently? Absolutely. For some children, you can achieve this as early as a few months old just through regular routines and consistency. For other babies, they need more time and more development in order to achieve this, closer to 2, 3, 4 years old, and anything in between. And it really depends on just individual factors, individual needs, individual families, and temperament. Not something that you're doing right or wrong. It's just every baby, every family is different. Do you have to stop feeding to sleep? You do not have to stop feeding to sleep. If you enjoy it and it works for you and it gets you good sleep, it does not cause wakes. I cannot tell you the amount of times that families have told me that they have a baby who falls asleep independently but wakes up frequently, or they have a baby who nurses to sleep but sleeps through the night. I've also worked with over 1,000 families at this point. I've never had to ask anyone to stop nursing, holding, rocking to sleep at the beginning of the night in order to extend those middle of the night sleep stretches. So the only place where this is true is in the sleep training books. It's not actually, there's no biological basis to it. If you want more on this or you want my step by step guides, make sure to check out the sleep roadmap. Now my kids are home, so I gotta go, but I'll see you next time. And no, you do not have to stop responding. You always trust yourself and what you think you need to do when responding to your baby.